Welcome, everybody. Just Sunday morning, gentle. All settled in here. You can be on your back, or you can be in child's pose, or you can be sitting up in easy sit, whatever feels the best to you. We're just taking first few moments here to arrive. Get that focus to your breath. Let your breath take over. Let it take you to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. Bring you to full presence on your mat, your practice. To full focus on your mat, your practice. Feel like you've got that full focus on your breath. Add that element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Let your breaths become longer, slower, deeper. Pulling that breath all the way down into your belly. As you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. That's what's going to allow us to move just with one breath, one movement. When you're ready to start moving here, right? Just take your knees, hug them into your chest. Everybody here is lying down, right? We're all gonna make our way into easy sit, right? So maybe you take your hands to the crease of your knees and just rock up. Maybe you roll to one side or the other, right? Just bring yourself into this easy sit pose. You're putting one leg in front of the other. It doesn't matter which one. Take your hands to your knees and sit up nice and tall. We're going to get our body and breath in sync here by doing a couple seated cat-cows. So as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Right? Pull back against your knees. Let your elbows bend towards your ribs. Right? That's your seated cow. And then as you exhale, you push into your knees. Let your elbows go out to the sides. Round your back. Tuck your chin. That's your seated cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale. So your seated cow, pulling against the knees, elbows towards the ribs, chin up to the sky. Exhale to your seated cat, pushing against the knees. Elbows out to the sides, chin tucked, back rounded. Keep going here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So just find your rhythm here, just like when we do this on hands and knees, right? You don't have to be going at my pace, you're going at your pace. You're finding the rhythm of your breath and matching your movements to it. Just do a couple more right here. And then eventually, we're gonna meet back in that easy sit pose. Once you come up nice and tall and easy sit, switch out your legs and just put your other leg in front for this last part. We're gonna do an easy sit, right? Sweep your arms up to the sky here. And then as you exhale, we're gonna twist to the right. Bring your right hand back behind you. Take your left hand, bring it outside your right knee. And look over your right shoulder. Untwist, take both hands up to the sky, and then just go the other way. Take your left hand back, take your right hand outside your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Come back arms up overhead. And then from here, right, you're gonna let your hands come down to your knees. It's kind of like you're gonna pull your knees apart. You're gonna come here to where you're in bound ankle, right? Just with the soles of your feet together. Now, if that feels like a lot, you can always push your feet further away from you, right? So you're making more of a diamond shape. If you wanna get a lot of sensation going in your legs, pull them in closer, right? It's up to you. Now, from here, you're just gonna take your hands up to the sky. We're basically gonna do a forward fold here in bound ankle, right? So you're folding forward, trying to reach past your feet. Doesn't matter if you don't reach past your feet, right? If your hands land in the inside of your diamond, maybe they land on your feet. But you're just pulling your chest forward a little bit. All right, and then from here, you're gonna slide up. Now put your hands on your knees, right? And we're just gonna do some hip circles here. So you're gonna lean forward, right? And then it's just like when we do these in easy sit, you're gonna push into your left knee. So you push yourself over to the right and then lean all the way back. Let your arms straighten as you're leaning back. Push yourself over to the left and then lean forward again, right? Do 3 circles here. Just go in this direction. And then as you come forward the last time, switch directions. Go the other way. Push into that right knee. So you lean to the left, lean back, lean to the right, come forward again. Do that twice more. And then as you're leaning forward for the last time, now you're gonna push up, right? Reach your hands up to the sky. Drop them straight in front of you. Now what we're gonna do here, right? We're gonna lay all the way down on the back. If you wanna kick your legs out first before you roll down to your back, you can. Or you can keep your legs in bound ankle as you roll down. Either way, once you get all the way down to your back, I'm just gonna switch angles here. You guys stay where you are. Bring your knees, hug them into your chest. All right? And then let your arms go out to a T. Drop your knees to the right as you look to the left. Taking that supine twist. And then you're gonna pull your knees back to center and drop them to the left as you look to the right. Bring your knees back up to center here, and then take your hands to the crease of your knees, rock yourself back up to seated, right? So we're gonna do that whole thing again, right? And we're gonna do it from our bound ankle, right? So we're just gonna bring our legs right into bound ankle. And then from there, you're gonna take that forward fold. Hands go up to the sky, they drop straight in front of you. You're gonna pull up, take your hands to your knees, right? And then do the circles. So you're leaning forward. First we go to the right, circle around 3 times. As you finish up your third, you pause and go to the left. And then from there, you pause when you're leaning forward, bring it all the way up, take your hands up to the sky, and then drop them straight in front of you, and then lower to your back, either staying in bound ankle as you lower down or letting your legs extend. Take your knees, hug them into your chest. Drop your arms out to a T, and take your knees to the right, chin gaze to the left. Pull your knees back up to center, drop your knees to the left, chin gaze to the right. Pull your knees back up to center, and let's just do that little sequence one more time. Take the hands to the crease of your knees, rock yourself up, come right into bound ankle. Take your hands up to the sky, do your forward fold. Peel it up so your hands are on your knees, and then lean forward here, push yourself to the right and back around twice more like that. And then as you're leaning forward after the third time, just switch directions, go to the left. All the way up here, and then from there, sweep your hands up to the sky, drop them straight in front of you, lower down to your back, take your knees into your chest, let your arms go out to a T, drop your knees to the right, chin gaze to the left, pull your knees up to center, drop them to the left, chin gaze to the right, pull your knees back up to center here, as you pull your knees back up to center. Right. This time, right, we're going to come into happy baby. So got your knees pulled into your chest, just separate the knees a little bit, right? If you want to kick your legs up, you can. Otherwise, just slide your hands between your knees and reach for those feet. Maybe you're grabbing onto the feet, maybe not. You're going to do your rock from side to side, like we always do. Right? Just get a little bit more into those hips. If this feels good, it should, right? But I promise you'll have a lot more time to do it later at the end of class, like we always do, right? Once you get here, you're going to take your hands to the crease of your knees, and we're gonna rock up to seated. And then we're gonna come around into tabletop. As you come into your tabletop, right now, you're gonna tuck your toes under. You're gonna lift your hips up and back and just come into your first down dog of the morning. So your fingers are spread wide on the surface. You get that pointer finger from the mat. You're pushing your belly towards your upper thighs. And you can add some movement here, bend one knee, then the other. We call that walking the dog. You don't want to sway your hips from side to side. You just want to stay still. Just take the time to check in with your body. Notice what's going on. What feels good, like you can really push forward today. What's not feeling good, like you need to hold back. Just make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of practice. All right, from here you're going to bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come into forward fold. Right, so now your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Right. Now, once you get deep into your forward fold, see if you can grab opposite elbows, right? So you're just going to grab onto your left elbow with your right hand, grab onto your right elbow with your left hand, let the crown of your head point towards those forearms, right? And then you're just going to sway back and forth, swinging your arms from side to side. And from here, what we're going to do, right, we're going to try to swing all the way to the right. And so you put a little bend in your left knee, maybe your right leg straightens, so you can bring those forearms outside your right shin. So just a little twist to the right. And then bring it back to center, and then do the same thing, a little bend in the right knee, so you can swing your arms all the way over to the left, bring them outside your left shin or left knee. Bring them back to center here, right? And now from here, we're going to do what we call a genie up, right? So you're going to keep the forearms pointed towards the crown of your head, right? And you're going to press through your feet and just rise all the way up like you're a genie coming out of the bottle until your arms are up overhead. So you're still grabbing those opposite elbows. The crown of your head is still pointed towards your forearms. You're just standing up now. As you exhale here, take that side bend to the right. Just tip your right elbow towards the ground. Push your hips to the left. Come back up. Now go the other way. Bump your hips to the right. Let your left elbow drop towards the ground. Come back up to center here. And we're going to take a back bend. Push your hips forward. Chest and gaze. Go up. And then you're going to inhale, come up tall. Now, as you come up tall here, let your arms open all the way up to the sky. And just take a really big swan dive. Come back down to forward fold. Belly to thighs, crown of the head towards the mat. Take a half lift here into monkey to reset the back. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. And then fold back down, belly to thighs, crown of the head to the floor. So that's our basic sun salutation today. We're going to do it twice more. You grab those opposite elbows. Put that bend in your left knee so you can swing your arms outside your right leg. Bring it back to center and then go the other way. That bend in your right knee so you can bring your arms outside your left leg. Bring it back to center here, come back to forward fold, and then we're going to genie all the way up. Once you're all the way up to standing, you're going to lean to the right. Come back to center, lean to the left. Come back to center, and then take your back bend, right? Still grabbing those opposite elbows. But as you come up out of your back bend, reach those arms overhead. And take a big swan dive back down to forward fold. All right, so we're going to do that whole thing one more time. So take that half lift to monkey. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. Fold back down, and then grab opposite elbows. Put the bend in your left knee so you can swing your arms outside your right knee. Come back to center. Put a bend in your right knee so you can swing your arms outside your left knee. Come back to center. Genie all the way up. Side bend to the right. Come back to center. Side bend to the left. Come back to center. Take your back bend. And as you inhale and come up, reach your arms up overhead. And then swan dive it all the way down into your forward fold. Take one more half lift here, right? Pull your shoulders even with your hips. And then fold back down. Right, notice you're getting a little deeper into your forward fold here. from here, keep your right foot forward, right, and just step back with that left foot coming to runner's lunge, and then drop your back knee. So you're here in that kneeling runner's lunge with your left knee behind your left hip, that right knee right over the right ankle. Now we're going to rise up here into our kneeling crescent, right? So you can do it with your hands if you want to. Just bring your right hand to your right knee, left hand on top of the right, and push yourself up. And maybe you're going to stay right here. If it feels okay, maybe your hands come all the way up to the sky. Maybe you take that little lean back if it feels good, if it makes you feel like you're going to fall over, skip it. Right? And then wherever you are, you're going to drop your hands back down on either side of your right foot. And we're going to shift into our half pyramid. So you're going to let your right leg straighten, let your right toes flip up off the mat. Lower your upper body over that right leg. Square off your hips, right? Pull that left hip forward. Draw that right hip back. Feel that stretch in your right hamstring. One more breath here. And now bend back into your right knee. Walk it back forward. From here, you're just going to take both hands to the inside of your right leg. Okay? And squeeze that right shoulder into your right knee. So you're in this little drag. Right? I just want you to feel that in your hip flexors just for a breath. And then what we're going to do from here, right? You're going to come up off your left knee, right? So tuck your left toes under, peel that left knee up, drop your left heel, straighten out your right leg, turn your right toes towards the left long edge of your mat, and just come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're facing the left side of the room, facing towards the balls. Right? So both of the toes are facing that left wall, crown of your head is towards the ground with that wide-legged stance. And from here, you're going to plant your left hand right in the center of your mat. Take your right hand up to the sky. So we're just twisting towards the front of the room. So look up at your right fingertips. And then let that right hand come back down. And then from here, you're going to turn your right toes back towards the front of the room. Take that little yogi walk. You're walking it back into runner's lunge, but keep your left heel down, right? As we get here, get that right knee over the right ankle. We're going to rise up into warrior one. You're just going to peel your upper body up. Reach up high. So square your hips towards the front of the room. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Now, from here, right, you're in your warrior one. Just kind of put all that weight into the back edge of your left foot. Put the weight into the balls of your right foot. And see if you can lift the right heel up off the mat. And then drop it back down. Just do that twice more, right? You're lifting your right heel. Dropping it down. Do it one more time. Lift the right heel. And then drop it down. As you drop back down into your regular warrior one, bring your palms together. Pull them to heart center. So your thumbs are right at heart center, elbows are going out to the side. We're going to take a twist to the right here. You're going to bring your left elbow over towards your right knee. You can keep that left heel down for stability. If you want to get a little deeper into the twist, maybe let it lift. That's up to you. Your thumbs stay at heart center, your chest opens towards the right side of the room, crown of the head is towards the mirrors. Right now, if you lifted that left heel, drop it down. You're going to untwist. As you untwist, let your right leg straighten out. Let your hips turn towards the left side of the room. Take your hands up to the sky, grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and pull it towards the back of the room, into that sky archer. Now from here, you're going to bend into your right knee. Bend deeply, deeply into your right knee. Release your hands. Let your right elbow drop to your right knee. Take your left hand, wrap around behind your back. Right? Reach towards your right inner thigh. Maybe you don't get there, that's okay. Right? Think about your right shoulder. Really peel it open towards the ceiling. Look up over your right shoulder. So this little half bind here. If you have a full bind in your practice, you can always do that, but you don't have to. All right, now we're going to pull it up into our reverse warrior, right? So you're going to pull that torso up, keep your legs right where they are, don't unbend that right knee. Just let your left hand slide along your left thigh, reach that right hand up and over. You can look up at your right fingertips or back over your left shoulder, whatever feels good. But keep bending deeply into that right knee. you're gonna cartwheel your hands around here. Let that left hand land on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky. So you're just twisting towards the right side of the room. And again, you can let that left heel, the left heel lift if you want to, but you don't have to. Right, we're gonna come up, and when we come up, we're gonna be in warrior two. So you're gonna want to have that left heel down. You're gonna want to have the left heel down. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, you're gonna push away from the mat with that left hand. Let that left hand cartwheel around behind you. Take your right hand, reach it forward. All right, so you turn your right toes towards the front of the room, bend into that right knee, hips towards the left side of the room, arms long. Right. Now, look at yourself in the mirror, right? And notice where your shoulders are. Are they right over your hips? That's where you want them to be, right? There's a saying in yoga, right? If you're in warrior two and you're reaching forward, then you're reaching too hard towards the future, right? And if you're leaning back, you're stuck too far in the past. So we got to get ourselves to the present moment by bringing the shoulders right over the hips. All right, now we're going to spin it down again. We're going to come right back to where we were in that twisted lunge. You're going to cartwheel your hands around. Let your left hand land on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky. And then turn those left toes towards the front of the room. Drop down to your left knee again, right? And you can kick your left foot a little bit over to the left if you want to. And you're going to take your right foot, set it all the way back behind you. You're just coming into this modified side plank, facing the right side of the room. Maybe those left fingertips reach towards the front of the room. Maybe that right leg lifts, left leg lifts up. No, that's your right leg. Add that all backwards. It's your right. The right side of your body is moving as it should be. We're on the right side. All right, and then when you're ready, if you lift that right foot up, drop it down, drop your right hand down, and just come back through your tabletop. All right, as you get to tabletop, we're going to do all that again on the left side. So you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, and just come into your down dog. And then from your down dog, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet towards your hands, come to forward fold. Belly touching the upper thighs, head hanging heavy and long. Take a half lift to monkey here, shoulders even with the hips. And then as you exhale, fold back down. As you fold back down here, you're going to keep your left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back behind you. So I'm going to turn around here so you all can see. As you come into your runner's lunge, left knee right over the left ankle, right leg nice and long. You're going to drop down to your right knee. Let your right foot flatten. So left knee right over the left ankle, right leg nice and long. We're going to peel it up into our kneeling crescent. So you can do that one hand at a time if you want, or you can do it with both hands, right? You can keep your hands on your knees this whole time here, or you can reach them to the sky. Maybe you're leaning back here, letting those hip flexors open. Again, if it makes you feel like you're going to fall over, you don't have to do that part. From here, as we come down, we're all going to land our hands on either side of the left foot. You're going to extend your left leg long, letting your left toes slip up off the mat. So straightening out that left leg, and then letting your upper body fold over the left leg. Bring your nose towards your left knee. Square off your hips here, pull that left hip forward, draw that right hip back so you really feel the sensation in your left hamstring. Now from here, we're going to bring it back forward. You're going to bend back in to that right knee. Come forward, and then you're going to bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Squeeze that left knee in towards your left shoulder, drag in for just a breath. Then from there, tuck your right toes under, come up off your right knee, drop your right heel. You're going to push your left leg straight, walk your hands to the right long edge of your mat. So you're facing over there towards the right wall. And then let your upper body just sink into this wide forward fold. So both sets of toes towards the right wall, hands in the center of the mat, crown of the head towards the mat. Now we're going to twist again. This time you're going to plant your right hand on the mat and take your left hand up to the sky. So you're still twisting towards the front of the room. And that chest open. And then let your left hand come down, back into your wide forward fold. And then turn your left toes back towards the top of your mat. Walk your hands around so that your hands are framing your left foot. Keep that right heel down because we're just going to rise up here right in to warrior one. So you're going to peel your upper body up off that left leg. Take your hands up to the sky. Square your hips towards the front of the room. Adjust your back foot if you need to, right? Think about really pressing into that right foot, your back foot, right? It's stabilizing you. Because we're gonna do those lifts with the left heel. So you're gonna press into the balls of the left foot and see if you can lift your left heel, right? You can do it if you've got enough weight pushing back into your right foot. All right, now drop that left heel and just do it twice more. Lift the left heel, drop it down. Do it one more time. Lift it, and then drop it down. Right now from here, bring your hands together, pull them to heart center. Make sure those arms are nice and active, elbows going up to the sides, thumbs right at heart center. Take your twist to the left. Bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Thumbs are at heart center, chest is open towards the left wall, crown of the head is towards the mirrors. Now when we untwist here, right, you're gonna slowly come up, push that left leg all the way straight, let your hips turn towards the right side of the room, but keep your legs where they are. So your left toes are still pointed forward, right toes are pointed to the right wall. Take your hands up to the sky, grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, and pull towards the back of the room. So angle your whole body towards the right. Right, now you're good, but just take your torso, right? Don't turn it towards the front, turn it towards the right. There you go, yeah, like that. Now take your hands up and just pull back. So you're making that one straight line from your left wrist down, or I should say your hand. From your left wrist down to your left toes. There we go. All right, now we're gonna release here. You're gonna bend into your left knee. Drop your left elbow to your left knee. Take your right hand, wrap it around behind your back. Okay, so you're trying to reach those right fingertips towards your left thigh, your left waist, right? Maybe you're not getting there, that's okay. Right? Really take that right shoulder, peel it up, and look up over your right shoulder. So you're trying to open your chest, spiral your chest upwards and to the right. Okay, you guys look good here. All right, now you're gonna pull up just with your torso. Let your right hand slide along your right leg. Take that left hand, reach it up and over into your reverse warrior. So keep that deep bend in your left knee. Keep that left knee going towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Reach with that left hand. Create that space. All right, now we're gonna cartwheel our hands around here. Your right hand is gonna land on the inside of your left foot. Your left hand's gonna go up to the sky. You're in this twisted lunge. So right hand down, left hand up. You can let your right heel lift here if you want to. You don't have to. Right, we're gonna come up to warrior two. When you're ready to come up, you've got to drop that right heel. You're going to push away from that with that right hand. Just let it cartwheel around, reach back behind you, take that left arm long. And again, look at yourself in the mirror here. You guys can all see yourself in the mirror. All right, take that left knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot and make sure your shoulder's right over your hips. And then from here, we're just going to cartwheel it right back to where we were. Right, you're gonna cartwheel your hands around, let your right hand land on the inside of your left foot, left hand up to the sky. And then everybody's gonna turn their right toes forward. You're gonna drop your right knee, down to the mat, not your right foot. And then you're gonna kick your right foot a little bit to the right, take your left leg, extend it long behind you. Turn this modified side plank, facing the left side of the room. So your left arm should be up. Maybe you lift your left foot up. Maybe you reach those left fingertips towards the front of the room. And drop that left foot down. Drop that left hand down. Bring it back through your tabletop. And then from here, you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come into your down dog, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. All right, and then as you get to your forward fold, toe your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Bring your heels in and your toes out. We're going to drop it down into our Malasana squat. You can use a block if you want to. I'm going to. That's why I went over to get it. Right? So this is your regular Malasana squat. No block. Looks like this. Right? If you want to use a block, you take the block, you slide it under your hips, and you sit down on it. And it makes it a little easier. If it's not great for you with or without the block, or you don't have a block, and you don't like it without the block, sit down on your glutes. and bring the soles of your feet together. Revisit that bound ankle, right? It'll probably feel really good because your body's ready. You've been there before today. Wherever you are most comfortable, that's where I want you to be. Let your eyes close. And just take a few moments, bring that focus to your breath. You don't have to control your breath, or you do want to control your breath, but it's okay if you're not, right? If you're not controlling your breath, if you lost that control while you're flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Now you're going to slow your breaths, lengthen your breaths, deepen your breaths. Keep that full focus on the breath. Regain that full control of the breath. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Ready, we're going to do our core work. We're going to do it from standing. So you're going to come all the way up to standing. And it's okay if you have to drop a hand, get yourself up to standing. So you're just going to stand in that standing mountain at the very top of your mat. Right? Now, you want to bring your feet and your knees as close together as you can. Right? For some of us, like me, who are used to a little wider stance, right? This might already kick in your core, right? Standing with your feet close together like this. Right, now what we're going to do from here, you're going to drop down into chair with your feet this close together. So your knees stay pressed together, right? Bend into your knees, drop your hips, your hands can be wherever they want. They can reach in front of you, they can reach up, or they can be at heart center. Right? So look down, make sure you can see your toes, wiggle your toes. You want those hips far enough back, your knees aren't covering your toes. And you want to be able to have, your weight all on your heels so you can wiggle your toes. All right? Now, start to put all the weight into your right foot, right? Just a little tiny shift. Don't lift your left foot or anything. Just put your weight in your right foot. And then see if you can kick that left foot forward. Maybe it looks like this, right? I'm hovering my left heel. Maybe it looks like this, where I just kick my left leg straight and my heel's on the ground. All right, so wherever you are, it's good. Now what you're gonna do from here, right? Bend back into that left knee. Take a big step back with your left foot. So your left toes are gonna turn towards the left side of the room. You're gonna keep that bend in your right knee, turn your right toes towards the right side of the room, bend into both knees, and drop down low into goddess. Right? So heels are in, toes are out, both sets of toes are pointed over there towards the left side of the room. That should make you guys face the other way, but it's okay. Right, so we're here. Now, take your hands into goddess arms. That just means you're gonna open up, bend your elbows. Elbows are even with the shoulders, palms are facing the left wall. Now see if you can lift just your right heel off the mat. So press into those right toes, lift up. Hold there for a breath. Now drop that right heel. Press into your left foot, the ball of your left foot. Lift your left heel off the mat. Hold there for a breath. Now drop that left heel. Now see if you can lift both heels. Maybe not. If you gotta drop them, then you drop them. Hold it for a breath. And then drop both those heels. Sink into your goddess, sink a little bit lower. All right, now you're gonna keep the bend in your right knee as the one forward. Just turn your right toes completely back towards the front of the room. And then you're gonna step with your left foot. You're gonna bring it right back to where you were. Deep bend, feet together in your chair. Right, because we still got to do that little move on the other side. So this time as you get into your chair, you're taking all your weight to your left foot and you're just kicking your right foot forward. Again, maybe it's here. Keep your knees pressed together, right? That will help. With your heel off the ground, maybe you're dropping your heels to the ground and it looks like this. Right, now from here, you're just going to bend back into that right knee, set it back down in chair, and then straighten your legs. Drop it all the way down, forward fold. Ah, that should feel good. Now from here, place your hands on the mat or on a block. We're gonna bring it all the way down to seated, right? So maybe you just lift your heels and drop it down. Take your hands back behind you, drop to one side or the other, maybe you drop a knee. It doesn't matter, right? We're coming down to seated. You're coming down into this hook line position. Now we're gonna take it from here, either into pigeon or into deer. So I'm gonna show you both options, right? Either way, you're gonna take that right foot, step it over to the left side of your mat, and then lean way over to the right so that right knee lands on the ground. Now in pigeon, you just grab a hold of that left ankle with your left hand, pull the left knee back against the sole of your right foot, and then you take your hands in front of your right shin and you fold it forward here. I'm sorry, that's deer. I said pigeon, right? This one's deer. So this is, if you want to stay in deer, stay in deer. If you want full pigeon, then you extend that left leg all the way back behind you. Lift your right hip up off the mat. Right, so see how my right hip came up? And then you drop that left hip towards your right heel. You're still folding over your right shin. So you decide, you can be in full pigeon or you can just stay in deer. You want to get that sensation in your right hip. As long as you're feeling that, you're doing the right thing. Take 2 more breaths here. And then everybody's going to come back up to their palms. If you're not already, if you're in full pigeon like I am right now, you're going to let that right hip drop down. So lean to the right, let that right hip come down. Now everybody's going to take their left leg, right? Bring it around. Sweep it all the way in front of you. Step it over the outside of your right thigh. So like this, right? And then we're just going to take a twist. Right? So you're going to take your left hand, bring it behind your left hip. Take your right hand up to the sky. So you're here. Now, just bend into your right elbow. See if you can slice it outside your left knee, right? If not, then just take that right hand and hug around your left knee. Either way, take your gaze over your left shoulder. Now, untwist here. Let your chest face the front of the room again. You're going to step that left foot over. Just kick both legs straight out in front of you. Right, maybe you rock back and forth a little bit. Feel those sit bones, those bony bones pressing into the mat. And then take your hands up to the sky here. We're just going to do a basic seated forward fold here. So you turn your palms towards the front of the room. Let your chest fold over your legs. Maybe you can reach your toes as you do that. Maybe your hands land on your ankle or your shin or your knee. It's all good. Right, use your breath. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the pose. As you inhale, think about your spine lengthening so your chest lifts a little bit. And then as you exhale, fold a little deeper. Do that a couple times. You inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold deeper. Take your body just that extra millimeter or so into the pose. And it was naturally willing to go. That's where we get all of our growth in yoga, is in those extra millimeters. Take 3 more breaths here. Slowly peel it all the way up. Now, as we come back up here, you're coming back into that hook line, right? Bend into your knees. Put your feet on the ground. And then bring that left foot over to the right edge of your mat, right front corner of your mat, right? That's where your left foot is. You're leaning way over to the left, so your left knee hits the ground. Grab a hold of your right ankle with your right hand and just pull that right knee back against the sole of your left foot, right? If you're gonna stay in deer, then you just bring your hands in front of that left shin and walk it forward. If you're taking it to full pigeon, then you kick that right leg all the way back, lift up off your left hip, right? And then drop your right hip towards your left heel. So you decide you want pigeon or you want deer. Right? You can be down on your forearms, you can stay up on your palms, right? You can walk it all the way forward and let your chest and head come down to the mat, right? And that's whether you're in pigeon or deer. Just depends on what your body is capable of, what it wants to do today. It will tell you. It will tell you if it's not capable of what you're trying to make it do, and it will tell you if maybe it is capable, but it just doesn't feel like it today. Either way, right? You have to listen to it. Like, guide you where it needs to go. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then you're going to let yourself come back up to your palms if you're not already. Right? If you're in full pigeon, you're going to let that left hip drop back down to the ground. And then you're going to take your right leg, sweep it all the way around, step that right foot over outside your left thigh. You can always, if it doesn't get all the way over, right, you can always step it just to the inside of your right knee. It could look like this, or your left knee, sorry. So it could look like this if you need to. If you can get it all the way over to the outside, then you do that. We're going to twist to the right here. You're taking your right hand back behind you, taking that left hand up to the sky, and then bend into your left elbow. Maybe you can slice that elbow down outside your right knee. Maybe you just need to hug around your right knee. Either way, push that right shoulder open and look over your right shoulder. Let's untwist here, come back to center. Now step that right foot over. Now you're gonna bring both legs back into that hook line, right? Have them about hip-width distance apart. Take your hands back behind you, lean back into your hands, and just do a couple windshield wipers here with your legs. Just drop to one side and the other. Releasing any remaining tension in your legs or your hips. Now we're gonna come to a stop here. You're going to make sure that your toes are at the very top of your mat. And we're going to lay all the way down on our back. Right? So take your arms, reach them out long, tuck your chin to your chest, let your back round this time. As you come down, drop down onto your back. Right? We're going to come to our bridge first. So take your hands to your sides, palms face down, walk those heels a little closer to the glutes. Press all 4 corners of both feet into the mat. And as you inhale, lift your hips up to the sky. All right, if you want to here, you can take a block, slide it underneath your hips, and make this a supported bridge, right? Or maybe you keep it an unsupported bridge, using the strength in your legs to push those hips a little higher, right? Either way, you want to tuck your shoulders at least slightly, let your chest puff open. If you're unsupported and you want to make it really deep, work one entire shoulder, then the other underneath your body. Clasp your hands underneath your body. Using the leverage of the block or the strength of that legs to push the hips a little higher so we can increase the flexibility of our back. Take 2 more breaths here wherever you are. And as you exhale, let your hips float back down to the mat, nice and slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. All right, if you saw that block under your hips, you can keep it there if you want it there for waterfall, or you can take it out. You can add a block for waterfall if you'd rather have your hips on a block for your waterfall. In waterfall, we take the feet straight up to the sky. You flex them like they're going to step on the ceiling. Right? If I had that block under my hips, it just makes it slightly more intense because it elevates your hips slightly. Right? So it's totally up to you. If you want it to be a lot more tense, maybe you want to come into full shoulder stand. That's when you lift your hips up on your own, lift your hands in the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right, so you can be in shoulder stand, you can be in waterfall, you can be in supported waterfall. Again, it's one of those things. Let your body tell you where it wants to go. If you're really in tune with it, if you're really listening to it, it will always tell you. Maybe it's not where you were yesterday, maybe it's not where you're going to want to be tomorrow. But be where your body wants to be today. Get the blood to go from the feet where it pools all day back to our head and heart where we need it more. That's always a good thing, right? In addition to that increased circulation, we're naturally lowering our blood pressure and we're flooding our bodies right now with all sorts of anti-aging and anti-stress hormones. Lots of good things happen. We get a little bit upside down. Right now, when you're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. You're going to bend your knees, let them scrape along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. As you come down to the mat, you still have that block under your hips. Now you're going to take that block out. Right, let your hips be flat to the mat. We're going to come to happy baby here. So your feet are going to go up to the sky again. Right, this time you're going to separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. You're going to bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe not, maybe a lot. Right? You're going to reach your same hand up for your same foot. Right, so we're back in that happy baby. Like we're at the very end of our warm-up. This time you get to stay a little longer. You get to play with it a little more. Make sure you're rolling forward so you really feel that sacrum pressing into the mat before you start to rock from side to side. Just make it feel really, really good when you're doing that rock. If for whatever reason that rock doesn't feel amazing to you, then don't do it. You can stay still instead. And play with your legs now. Maybe they want to be wider, straighter, bent more, brought in more. Find somewhere here where this happy baby just feels really, really delicious to you. And allow yourself to hang out there for the next few breaths. And from here, take your knees, hug them into your chest. We're going to take our arms out long, like wings, in a T position. As you exhale, drop your knees to the right. Take your chin and your gaze to the left. If you want to make this deeper here, we got a little longer time in these twists too, right? You can take your right hand, press your knees closer to the earth, or if you have enough space, maybe you extend your legs so your toes go towards your right fingertips. Or you can just stay where you are. Keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Next inhale, I should say. And then as you exhale, you let those knees drop to the left. Take your chin, your gaze to the right. Same thing here. If you want to make it deeper, maybe you press down on those knees with your left hand. Maybe you extend your legs towards your left fingertips. Maybe you just stay where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. Always finish off with this twist, just because it seals off our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything that happened today. So next time we come do yoga, everything seems a little easier, and we're able to go everywhere a little bit deeper. Right now, on your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And let's set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. Take your legs, extend them long. Hands to your sides, palms face down. That's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. Don't stay there if it's not comfortable to you, right? You can always bend your knees. You can go back to those butterfly legs. Roll to your belly or roll to your side or sit up. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. If you're here in the studio, I'll come around and give your towel a little spray with sea salt, if you want that. If you're at home and you have a towel, put that towel over your eyes. to guide you there. You don't have to control your breath anymore. Just notice it, observe it. Keep your full focus on it. When you can master that, your breath begins to guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. When you get there, that's your true quiet of the mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, take your arms overhead, do a nice full, deep body stretch. There, just let yourself roll over onto your right side in your fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated. We will close here. Let's close just with our two Mari breaths and then an Om. The Mari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. And then the Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, or you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. I will see you guys all on Wednesday for some Yin on Wednesday night at 7, so you can come join me for that. Liza's here tomorrow morning for Payo, and if you want more gentle, Heidi's here tomorrow night at 7. So I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.